everyone, and welcome back to Felix the Powerful channel. Now today is our first cooking video, and what we are going to be cooking is dumplings. So let's get started. Now the first ingredient is Chinese chives, which is right over here. Now the chives, these are a little thick, but they will do the job. Normally you would get thinner ones, but these ones would really just do the job. Now the next ingredient is fresh shrimp. You would really want this if you want to cook it, because this is a really good and very delicious shrimp. You do need to be hand peeled, so make sure that all of these shrimps are hand peeled. Soy sauce right here, you really need some for the dumpling. Next thing is sesame oil right here. Next material is cooking oil. Now this one we use olive, but you can basically use any type of oil. It works just as fine as any oil. The next one is dried shrimp skin. Now you might think these are just skin, but actually it's just dried shrimp, so there is some meat inside. Do remember that. This will really make it more delicious. Trust me, even though it is very dried up, it's very good. Next is white pepper. The next one is ground Huajiao. Now this is very important in terms of taste. You can also have other things like ginger, but I don't really like the taste of ginger. That's why I use this. So the next one is ground pork. Now this goes very well into mixing with the shrimp. That's why we add ground pork. The next one we have dough. Now for dough, it is medium quality. It is medium softness. How to make the dough? You can add all-purpose flour, tap water, and maybe a pinch of salt if you want, and a few drops of cooking oil. Then you just throw it into the mixing machine, and that is it. Last one is Napa Cabbage. This is really important if you want it to be more juicy. I personally really love this. This is one of the most important ingredients if you want to make it juicy and crunchy. Now we will start making it. Now for the chives, you really just want to cut to this big or smaller. If it's too big, it might not be good, but if it's too small, it will become very hard. So that's why we chose this thickness. Okay, the Napa is in. Now we are going to be adding oil to it. Now we will be mixing everything together to make the perfect amount of each. We will be coating oil inside because we want to mix it, because later we will be adding the salty materials, and then the cabbage won't release water, which is why we coated it with oil. Now we will be cutting shrimp. Now what size are we going to make it? Is we are going to be making the size like this. It's basically about, I don't know, finger thickness. If it's too big, then it won't cook evenly and will leave some areas raw. But if it's too small, you can't really taste it, so that's why we cut it into about this size. Now we will be mixing all of the materials that we showed earlier, and we will be mixing them. We will be adding the soy sauce now. Smells so good. Also add salt while mixing, because if you feel like it's too light, the taste, you can actually add a little bit of salt if you want. We will make a simple sauce for the dumplings. we first need to crush some garlic. Then we will add some soy sauce. And then some rice vinegar. And of course, finally, some sesame oil. And we will add some sugar. And we will mix everything together. Okay, so right now we are sprinkling some white flour onto the trays so that the dumplings won't stick onto the trays. Now the dough is done resting and now it's nice and soft, so we can now push it a little bit and we can start to make the dumplings. We will be cutting it into halves so that right now we are making half of it. Okay, we need to make it as long as possible. It can't be too long or else it might break. So that's why it's about this long. It needs to be equal as well. So you start from the middle and then you go from equal. Here, then we will be cutting it into this size. What is this? This is what will become the dumpling skin. So this is basically the dumpling skin. Right now we will be mixing it together with some powder, and now we will be pushing one of these guys inward like that. Just make sure that it is as round as possible, so later when we make sure that it's super flat, it's easier to make. We will be widening them so that these will be able to hold the shrimps and the other stuff inside. Right now it is not able to. Something basically like that. In a while, when we are making these, we are also going to be wanting to heat up some water. So right now it's about that much, and when it's heated, the dumplings will float. So that's why we are doing it right now. Also, when you're making them, it is very good to leave a bump in the middle so that when you put the shrimp and the other materials, it won't break, and you can add lots of them if you have this bump. So now we will be putting the shrimps and the different vegetations onto the dumpling. As you can see, because of the bump, we can add lots of them, and then you just need to squeeze in very, very tight to make sure that the dumpling stays intact while boiling. When do we put the cold water? Well, we put the cold water once all of the dumplings float on top. The dumplings are done, and let's taste it. This is easily one of the best dumplings you can ever have. Just look at that. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed our first cooking video, and subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next one.